League of Legends, one of the most popular games of all time, the game that brought esports to new heights, the game that I've sunk more hours in than any other video game in existence, the game that I played religiously for almost a decade and completely dropped a couple of months ago.
Get that shit out of my face, bitch!
It's almost a video genre in itself on YouTube at this point. People telling their own why they stopped playing League stories. So I might as well throw my hat in this ring and give my personal perspective. For the record, I installed the game many weeks ago and the footage you're seeing is from an old stream of mine. Because with all due respect, I was not about to take the risk of relapsing back while getting new footage for this video. Firstly, I want to go over my history with this cursed game. It all began in 2014 when a few of my old classmates were talking about a specific multiplayer game. The way they were describing it didn't pique my interest too much, but they said it was free to play, so I thought, fuck it, what's the worst that could happen? Oh, to be young and naive once more. I installed the game, picked Mordecai to play my first ever match with, the second one, the one who could get a ghost dragon as a pet.
Who's that good boy? Who's that good boy?
And I didn't like him, at all. Tried a few other champions like Alistar, Cho'Gath, Master Yi, but then I found him, the champion that would become my first ever main. Jax.
Let's do.
Yeah, just leave the Jax main jokes at the door, thank you very much. I stopped maining him by season 6. Speaking of season 6, that's where my biggest mistake happened, where everything turned to shit. I started playing ranked.
Why would you do that? I'm kind of retarded.
End of the season in silver, surprise surprise, but that's where the big fire in my belly started burning. I wanted to climb higher and higher, and very, very slowly, but surely I did. Eventually getting hard stock in Master Tier by Season 11, where I would more or less stay before quitting. Once, for literally one day, I was in Grandmaster in Season 12, but then I immediately dropped and never got back. This is where we get to my first reason for quitting, staying in the same rank elo for such a long time.
I hate it here.
Unless I devoted most, if not all of my free time to playing this game, I was not going to climb anymore, which I'm by no means surprised by. Just being in a Master Tier is already within the top 1% of the player base, and the people up in Challenger, this game is literally a job for most of them in some form or fashion. I mean, hell, in the second split of Season 13, I only played 59 ranked matches, just so I could get back to Masters Tier at the end of the season. But really, why bother with even that? As long as you're gold or above, you get the Victoria skin, and that's that. I literally had no other reason to get that rank except because I wanted it. And at some point, you just don't care anymore. I may have kept playing ranked, if not for my second reason of quitting, the other people playing.
I hate you. I fucking hate all of you.
Yeah, League is toxic as fuck, you've all heard it. Hell, my first ever time properly streaming, after I lost the lane in one game, my ADC added me to tell me some, well, let's just say colorful things. God, somebody's got a whole lot of sand in their vagina. Ooh, itchy boy. 3 grand pussy. She's still going on. Oxygen waster. Like, god damn, dude, calm your tits.
It's only a game. Why do you have to be mad?
Now, if this was all I had to deal with, whatever. Just mute and never interact with them verbally. But oh. What was that talking about again? Oh yeah, there's nothing you can do about people who go AFK. Back in the day, at least, when people gave up and decided to be shitters, they would simply disconnect, you'd report them and Riot would do their thing. But good luck doing that when they technically aren't AFK. I mean, they don't play the game or try to win, they just sit in base, click to move every now and then so the auto-detect system doesn't sniff out their pathetic asses. I had such a terrible evening one time just before I quit. I played 3 games in a row where I had a teammate do this. And would you be surprised that it was the ADC of the team in all 3 games? You're not, aren't you? This is especially tilting in higher elos where you lose and gain as much LP from a single game. If someone did this in bronze, yeah, it's shitty, but fuck, a single win will grant you like the same amount of LP that you would lose from 3 or 4 games combined. In all of my years playing this game, I never tried to lose on purpose. I always played to win, no matter how deep in the 9th circle of hell I sometimes wished certain teammates of mine would end up in. Dealing with these kinds of shitbags who have such weak mentality, it just... I hate it so fucking much. Also, Smurfs. Fuck Smurfs. From the players, let's move on to champions. My god, what an unbelievable roster this game has. I had such fun times with so many of them. Kled, Leona, Pantheon, Silas, Kane, well okay, Rost more so. Garen, Pike, Nautilus, Vex, Rammus, Mundo, but there's two who will hold a special place in my heart for many years to come. Jhin, the most amazing champion in this game. Every aspect about him, his abilities, playstyle, voice lines, voice acting, design, everything.
Perfect. Everything. Down to the last minute details.
And of course, the champion who I mained since Season 8, Urgot. God, I think I had like 1.4 million mastery points on him by the time I stopped. Bruh. I just loved playing him. I was in gold when I picked him up and climbed with him through the ranks all those years. This champion just screams, do not fuck with me in game and in lore. You have no idea how many times I watched through the test trailer for Wild Rift. Oh my god, hearing those lines coming from the same voice actor that did his in-game quotes was just orgasmic to me.
Disappoint me. Unworthy.
No.
Also nice how he was basically never banned in champ select. There's a good indicator that the champion is well balanced, decent win rate, not banned too often with a special minority maining him. Someone that's not too strong but not too weak either. Which is reason 3. Some of these newer champions are just, what the fuck?
What the fuck is this piece of shit?
Now at any point in the game's history, there's always been some champions that have been broken as fuck. Anybody remember when Cassidy had a 95% ban rate?
Pepperidge Farm remembers.
Of course then you nerf that champion and find the right numbers where they aren't ungodly monsters or as useless as men's tampons. But here's the difference with something like Cassante. Yeah, you knew this guy was gonna come out sooner or later. A champion that has the durability and crowd control effects of a warden and the mobility and damage of a skirmisher. This cannot be balanced. Even in theory, with the kind of kit he has, he will either be a useless piece of shit or an absolute menace with no proper counterplay. You know, I'll just let this fine gentleman here explain it so perfectly.
이게 그 상태다. 체력 4700, 방어력 329, 마저 201인 챔피언이 저지불가 실드, 벽 넘기는 거 있고요. 에어본 있고, 심지어 쿨타임은 1초밖에 안 되고, 마나는 15 들고, W는 심지어 변신하면 쿨 초기화에다가 패시브는 고정 피해가 들어가며, 그 다음에 방마저를 올리면 올릴수록 스킬 가속이 생기고, Q에 스킬 가속이 생기고, 스킬 속도가 빨라지고, 그 다음에 공격력 개수가 있어가지고, W가
Couldn't have said it better myself. In less than 2 years of this big boy being released, he already received 2, yes, 2 mini reworks. The newest one came this September. That in itself should summarize how much they fucked up. I wonder, did they finally make him balanced?
So once you get past about 480 combined bonus resistances, which is not that hard to do, on high health targets you literally do over 1,000 true damage to them and it's AoE.
That's a negative. And if only Cassante was the only screw up in recent memory. You also have Smolder, Belvet, Seri, there's another one who needed reworking up the wazoo right off the bat, Ekshon, Gwen, Viego. Yeah, this is mostly just my personal opinions on these champions being bad for one reason or another, but I think we can all agree that it's a far cry for what it was like between season 6 and 8. That for me was the golden age of new champion releases in my lifetime of playing, as well as having some of the best reworks. And I really wish Riot would focus more on reworking older champions rather than releasing so many with the pace they're at. Or, you know, at least giving basic visual updates to certain somebodies. Ideally, I would have been fine seeing 2 or even just 1 new champion added in a season. Also, because there's so fucking many at this point, it's obvious the champion design team is trying so hard to come up with new ideas. But then how bad it'll affect the game is kind of tossed to the wayside, like giving Ekshon the ability to possibly revive his whole dead team if he kills a specific enemy champion.
What could possibly go wrong?
Then we come to the 4th reason and the source of everything, Riot Games. This is a company that is worth literally billions of dollars, and yet after all these years, their client still runs like a fucking outhouse. Multiple times I've had the client freeze on the champion selection where the game window would not open for some reason, so I end up shutting the client off and praying I get to connect in my game. I say praying because multiple times when I try to restart the client, it complains that I don't have internet connection. To which I open up YouTube, pick a random video to play, and to the client, it's full of shit. Then there's been some occasions where I couldn't edit my runes before ranked matches. I would try to open up the rune editor, nothing would come up, and even though I had selected a specific rune page, the game would give me the recommended runes. This fucked me up so badly, basically giving a free win to my lane opponent. Because fuck me, why wouldn't? The recommended runes for Urgot include Alacrity, Absolute Focus, and Gathering Storm.
That is
It's also pretty apparent that Riot has been turning more and more scummy over the years. Events today, if you can even call them that, are non-existent. Just a small period where Riot gets to sell you a ticket and some new skin that will be only available for a limited time, so you better get it now or else. Remember the Star Guardian or Odyssey events? Where you had brand spanking new game mode? Those times getting to play actual PvE with friends were so much fun. I still remember them oh so warmly. Oh, speaking of skins, don't think I've forgotten that Ari skin that you guys were trying to charge $500 dues for. How little shame can you have at that point? $500. I could go on about lesser stuff like grievous wounds making no sense. Like, why does the epic component that costs 800 gold and the fully completed legendary item both give only 40% anti-heal? Why not make it so Ignite and the fully completed item gives 60% to make them actually worthwhile? But yeah, I think I'm done venting. Well, this is all winding down, I ask myself, am I ever gonna play League of Legends again?
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
I'm not sure, but I sure as hell know I'm not reinstalling it anytime in the near future. Right now, I just want to keep exploring the franchises I like further, and keep discovering kick-ass titles that I've missed out on for whatever reason. Cause whoever said that heroin is the most addictive drug in this world, that motherfucker had not been to Summoner's Rift, that's for damn sure. Goodbye.